Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of this recent BRRRR project where Abhi and Aman have just finished working on this beautiful property. Huge difference, major improvement. Let's start off with the entrance here. What were the main things that you did here that you feel really improved this?
So we actually got really nice 7.5 inches baseboards, all new flooring. This is 5.5 mm flooring. New radiant heat covers, they charged too much for it.
I remember because when the old ones were here, you were contemplating painting them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you decided instead to just install new ones. How much did this run?
The whole thing, for the whole house, costed me 6 grand because it's so difficult to find this specific kind.
6,000?
Yeah.
I think you get a better deal than I got, so I think that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
The walls here, sometimes people look at this and they think, oh, these walls are like very dated. How do I go about reducing cost here? Obviously, you just painted it over.
Yeah, so we kept it as is because to smoothen these things, it would cost a lot of money. Plus, you would lose a lot of insulation. Like, it was not easy. Painted one of the walls and we saw like it wasn't looking that bad, and so we decided to keep it as is.
Let's go to the kitchen. Okay, I remember when we were first talking about the kitchen here, I know you said you didn't want to change all the kitchen cabinets.
No.
What do you feel about these kitchen cabinets?
Obviously, they go with the look.
Yeah.
I don't want to change it too much. I would honestly do another cleanup.
Couldn't help yourself, right?
So, I mean, when we are like doing renovations, we are halfway through, then, you want to have a certain feel to the unit. So we decided that we'll keep everything white and black throughout. So we decided to change everything.
This is a good example of what we decided to do in the beginning versus what ends up happening. It's almost like an itch you need to scratch, and then you end up just doing stuff. You're just like, how did I end up spending $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 more? It looks profoundly different. This looks amazing. So you painted the brown panels white and you replaced the cabinets. Did you do the same upstairs, replacing cabinets? What was the price of all the cabinets?
The kitchens would have costed me everything inclusive, appliances, everything, easy 20, 21K.
That's an amazing price. It doesn't really matter how you look at it. A lot of people pay $25,000 just for doing one custom kitchen, right? You're getting 2 kitchens with a nice quartz countertop, and I see you even went for the quartz backsplash. This is becoming more of a trend right now. Did you do this because it was more cost effective?
My contractor suggested this. This countertop, it's gonna be like $400, $500 extra from the backsplash. It just makes sense to add it in.
I personally find that it is actually cheaper to do it this way.
By the way, this is how I feel when I first walked in here, right? My attention was totally drawn up how tall, how high the cabinets are. If this was old and repainted, I might actually feel like the quality isn't there.
This was very smart too. I'm glad you thought of this in order to avoid creating a pinch point. Where did you order these cabinets from?
So my contractor had his contact. So they order their cabinets from Zhangjiao in China, I guess, and they arrive in Toronto. You would be surprised to know like how much margins are there in these things.
The washroom, it looks like you stuck exactly with the same plan. You just went with the vanity over here, white tiles. You're going with a simple black and white design, and it looks very nice and clean. And oh, I love this bathroom. This is not what you were intending to do, was it?
No,
you have to get in here.
This was a bathtub, and we decided that we're just gonna reglaze it initially, but then it wasn't giving me the look that I wanted.
It's funny because when we were first talking about this, you're like, I'm gonna preserve this, I'm gonna keep that.
The entire thing, the whole bathroom, costed me about 9K.
That unit is funny because people think this is actually quite expensive. It can be, but you can also get them for as cheap as like $200 to $400 in there. For that entire unit, it's very impressive looking. I like that you went with the ceiling fans. How do you control the ceiling fans?
Remotes here.
When you rent it out, chain this to the wall.
Yes.
Right? So that it doesn't get lost.
Absolutely.
The windows, did you replace any of the windows?
So I've ordered new windows a few weeks since they arrived.
Oh, so you're still gonna do that work?
Yes. One of the windows is cracked up, so I'm gonna replace that for sure.
So you obviously kept the doors, and because you have these old flat panel doors. Were you not gonna replace all of them?
I wanted to replace everything, including the casings, because I had a certain look in my head. Like these are very specific sizes, like down to like 1/4 inches.
Yeah.
It was very difficult to find these.
Last time we were here, you were talking about reinforcing certain things that were concerning you.
So we added 2 new reinforcement poles.
This is one of the new ones, right?
Yes.
It looks like there's some kind of a footing here.
Yes.
You didn't do that, but they
No, the
decided
footing was
that.
already there, so that's why we decided to add it at that specific point.
So this is your boiler. You have water control going through here to the rest of the system. And then this goes to one unit, this goes to the other unit. Does this shut off the water going through this unit
Exactly.
when the temperature is not where it needs to be?
Yes.
Okay, so this is effectively an electronic shutoff valve. That is brilliant. And this is wired directly to the thermostat.
Yes.
And then does this get wired to here, or is this just always on?
No, this also is intelligent because those are smart thermostats. Only when it's needed.
So it's wirelessly controlled.
Yes.
Okay, so the thermostat communicates with the boiler, and then the thermostat communicates with these to let water in if temperature needs to go up. This is brilliant. More people need to install these into their multi-unit buildings that have one boiler system controlling everything. It's amazing. It doesn't seem like it's too complicated.
As I said, the entire thing costed me $1,100. I think it was worth the price.
I want to look at the kitchen first because this was what I was really wondering about, because it was an odd space.
Yeah.
And by the looks of it, I think you really made it work. So why don't you explain this to me a
So
little?
we added the laundry and we added a small apartment style dishwasher here, double sink here. We added the pantry there, plenty of storage.
This was a good addition. This is necessary considering the space. This, I think, is a very good way to illustrate a challenge where even though you have a big space like this, when you have a window, an entrance, and another window there, every wall is interrupted.
Yes.
And it makes it challenging to get enough counter space in.
Absolutely.
Right? But I think all things considered, you did a really great job. Honestly, people sometimes look at laundry in the kitchen and wonder why is it there, but this is a very apartment contemporary style doing this. In Asia, it's very popular to do this.
This is very hard to find.
Yeah, 18-inch dishwashers are not...
Takes a lot of time. Like
Yeah.
it took me 1 month from the time I ordered to the time it arrived.
How much you pay for this? This must have been expensive.
This alone is the most expensive stuff. Like my fridge is $900 and this is $900.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Why did you put the laundry over there instead of here?
The plumbing was already provided there because there's a bathroom on the other wall. So pulling up the plumbing and then putting up a vent there would have been too much work. It would be more costly.
All right, so as we come in here, this was the room where the whole ceiling was torn out because it just fell down.
Fell down, yeah.
All right.
I've supported all the whatever was rotten, completely replaced, new beam set in.
So explain to me quickly, what are these here?
So this is, as you said, a header board.
Yes.
And then you have cross joisting that's sitting on this header board.
That's smart because even though there wasn't anything here, so it doesn't seem like it was absolutely necessary, but this definitely adds an extra layer. It'll prevent cracking happening on this part of the ceiling. Did you replace new casements across all of this?
Yes.
This is perfect because it really shows how adding new casement makes the window look just brighter, because these aren't, you didn't change these windows. These are original.
No, these are originals.
They look newer with the new casements and a fresh coat of paint. I just find it funny because I remember we were talking about different ways to just save money and do all these things, and you just went all out and you redid everything, right?
Yeah, all the bathroom.
It's such a profound difference, and you're definitely adding value. You're definitely going to be able to command stronger rents, and you obviously didn't break the bank doing this. Did you spend the same up here as you did downstairs?
Yeah, the same contractor did both the bathrooms.
I like how with this white tile, it has the gray lining inside, and you also went with a dark gray grout line. Sometimes people go with the white grout, but the problem is it just yellows really quickly, and at least this will stay this color for quite a long time, and you're not going to see the wear and tear as quickly. All right, so there is this panel here. Is this a pony panel? Or?
So it's a sub panel for this unit. We have 200 amps here, so 100 amps is dedicated to this, and we obviously upgraded the panel with a lot more breakers in it.
Was it fuses before, or?
It was breakers, but it was lot less breakers. So we had to provision for the attic as well. Some baseboard heaters running in the attic or AC units.
But this isn't separately metered. It's still on the same, off of the same main.
So these sub panels are separately metered. I get 2 bills. So this is independent of the unit downstairs.
Let's go upstairs. This looks nice. Did you say you put a closet up here?
I'm going to put a closet up here. I actually just got to know about, to technically call it a bedroom, you need to have a closet in.
When you build a closet in, it's a lot of wasted space because they're never perfect for whatever somebody wants to use. But if you build in some of the IKEA closets or something like that, they fit quite nicely, because even this height, if you just put something lower and you have a drawer system, it will look good fitting this space and not take away. Because if you build in a closet, what are you going to do? Have the door all the way up to here? Did you have to do anything to the chimney?
No, we just kept it as is, wanted a rustic look. Obviously, it needs some cleaning because of all the paint on it.
And the windows are original windows, right?
Yes, they are original.
That's actually surprising, because in an attic like this, I wouldn't expect there to be such big windows and for them to look so nice. So the outside of the building is also looking very nice and clean. It actually looks like it belongs in the neighborhood now. You restained all of your porch decks.
Yes.
What did you end up spending to do all of them?
So all 3 decks, I spent about $750, $250 a deck.
How do you find such good prices to get your work done?
So it's actually my brother-in-law who's been very active on Facebook, asking different contractors, asking for price,
That's your
comparing the
brother-in-law
price.
right there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that guy? Okay,
Yes.
so he's hustling, finding all the good deals.
He's actually been key in finding all the key contacts and then checking the prices, comparing the prices, and then scheduling them. So it's actually cheap because there's an extra hand involved. There's some effort involved in finding and sourcing the right guy.
We do have some people, part of our team, whose job is to cost down. Imagine you dedicated all of your time to making things more affordable, you would do a hell of a job of it. So these things are possible as long as you're willing to put in the work. Speaking of putting in the work, you also couldn't help yourself. You made the driveway look amazing. What did you spend on the driveway?
Actually, initial quote was for $3,000.
3,000?
But that guy was not available because we wanted to get things done. We ended up spending about $4,000. 1,300 square feet. You can park 6 cars here. But yeah, we paid $1,000 extra.
Really quickly, what was the total cost of all of the renovations combined?
I think I spent in about 120 to 130K. That's the entire cost, everything inclusive.
And in terms of coming here, so you were coming here almost every day or every day?
Almost every day.
How long were you spending here every day and what were you doing on a daily?
Well, depends. Like some days I was here through the day because there was a lot going on. I had to oversee everything, and on other days probably just maybe twice as well, like in the morning and in the evening. Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of
like
just to check in, talk to the
Just to
contractor,
check
see how
in,
progress is
yes,
going.
to see the
Did you ever find anything that you caught as a result of checking in that you had to make a judgment decision on?
A lot of the things actually, and I was also able to report to Abhay proactively by taking photos and stuff. And because it's all new to me, so I had to make sure that I was getting his advice and like his insight on everything.
Really quickly, you bought this property for how much again?
$740,000, $318,000, everything, including the closing cost, the carrying cost, the mortgage, and the renovations.
Down payment is included in all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so $318,000. The approach is going to be to refinance the property, and then as the market improves, look at selling the property. What is the number we have to hit to complete a full BRRRR?
The ARV value, I'm assuming, would be somewhere about $1,050,000 to 1.1. After refi, I would be getting about $210,000 out.
So you need a 1.2 or so $1 million valuation to have it almost a full BRRRR.
Yes.
At 1.1, you have about a 75% BRRRR, which is still very good because you have an amazing performing property at a relatively low rate. And this is, of course, are you calculating with a B lender?
The lender I'm trying to approach is a B lender, but he's offering me A lending rates.
And then if you rent it out, what kind of rents are you expecting for the main floor?
So for the main floor, it's 2 beds, anywhere between $2,000 to $2,500. Upper unit, approximately somewhere between $2,200 to $2,700.
Approximately $5,000 of rental revenue from this property, and they pay their own hydro. So all things considered, those are the numbers you're working with. You'll be able to pull funds out, and you'll be holding on a property like this, which as it was the worst property in the best area, and now you made the property fit in. This looks amazing. I think you did an amazing job with this, and you obviously did a hell of a job managing this project. If any of you want to know more about how to flip houses in Ontario, make sure to get in touch with us. We'll see you on the next one.